There is no bigger victory than being able to debut a player from La Masia. It's even bigger than winning a title. That was the opinion of Pep Guardiola back in 2010, at a time when Barcelona were almost untouchable. It's a sentiment shared by the majority of the Barca members, the culés, for whom the side is an emblem of the Catalonian people. As the motto goes, Més que un club. However, in recent times, the relationship between Barcelona and its fabled academy has lost its way. Once capable of producing a steady stream of world-class talent, in the past 5 years just a handful of prospects have made it into the senior ranks. Its decline has coincided with the leadership of Josep Maria Bartomeu, the club's much maligned former president, who in October 2020 resigned from his office. Many lay the Blaugrana's current economic hardship firmly at his door. But what ultimately went wrong at La Masia, and to what extent was that Bartomeu's fault? And at this extraordinary tipping point in Barcelona's history, how could a restored Masia be the solution to their problems? In our latest Eurofootball Daily Explained, we decided to find out. The historic success of La Masia comes from its ability to install the club's philosophy, values and playing style into their students from an early age. Every child admitted from the local area, known in Catalan as the Cantera, into its 12 youth teams is entrenched in the legendary tactics and total football of their former player and manager Johan Cruyff. That included a preference for a 4-3-3 formation and emphasis on the Spanish tiki-taka one-touch approach. The Dutchman once famously said, "We must be patient and we must focus on developing good players and good people." Ensuring the students received a rounded education was also fundamental to his beliefs. Graduates from its system gain what is known as the stamp of La Masia. The players arrive into the first team steeped in the club's DNA with a familial bond, and tactically ready to perform. The success of this approach was vindicated in 2009, when the Blaugrana won the Champions League with 8 homegrown players. In 2010, 7 of Spain's World Cup final winning side were La Masia alumni, and 2 years later, in a 4-0 La Liga win over Levante, Barcelona finally fielded an 11 of academy graduates after injury forced Dani Alves to be replaced by Martin Montoya. It marked one of the proudest moments in the club's illustrious history. In 2011, La Masia, meaning the farm in Catalan, was moved from its old farmstead base to a new state-of-the-art complex called the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper at a cost of €11 million. The new La Masia was meant to build on the academy's success, but as we will explore, that proved far from the case. In Pep Guardiola's incredible 4-year tenure as coach of Barcelona, 28 different homegrown players received first-team debuts. The coaches that followed the Spaniard's departure in 2012, however, didn't follow his example. Tito Vilanova only promoted Carlos Planes to the senior team, while Tata Martino, a man Bartomeu once declared had more Barca DNA than most Masia coaches, almost ignored the academy completely. Luis Enrique, for all his blistering success, defied convention by forbidding Masia coaches from attending his training sessions. Meanwhile, Barcelona B and the professional academy were instructed to focus on a defensive approach that prioritised results over player development, contrasting significantly with their previous methods. With the pathway to the first team more marred than ever, disillusioned students left the club at an ever-increasing rate. It was clear that in the final years of Sandro Rosel's presidency, the academy was in decline. Following Rosel's resignation in 2014, Josep Maria Bartomeu rose to power. Previously the club's vice president of sports, in 2015 Bartomeu consolidated his position by comfortably defeating Joan Laporta in the Barcelona elections. From this point on, the entrepreneur set in motion his strategic plan, which aimed to make Barcelona the most desired, beloved and global sports institution. This included the 2017 launch of the Barcelona Innovation Hub, and a series of ambitious construction projects known as Espai Barça that would renovate the Camp Nou and its surrounding area. Bartomeu also dreamed of the Blaugrana becoming the first club in the world to reach a €1 billion income by the end of 2021. Greater focus was placed on digital commerce and monetising the club's global image. La Masia featured in his strategic plan too. Recognising the stagnation of the academy, in 2016 Bartomeu pitched La Masia 360, a project designed to modernise its internal practices. Under the proposal, Barcelona increased the budget for coaches and gave them better contracts, advanced the academy's student studies, and provided them with greater psychological support. In theory, La Masia 360 was an excellent idea which was greeted with enthusiasm by the culés. But, as Bartomeu discovered with many of his ventures, his plan would prove disastrous from the outset. There are many reasons why La Masia 360 is considered a failure. The first significant point of contention was Bartomeu's decision to put one of his trusted board members, Albert Soler, in charge. Soler in turn appointed Carlos Folguera as director of the academy, against the wishes of Pep Segura, then the director of Barcelona Bs and the under-19s. This created friction between the junior and professional academy, and proved to be the first major example of mismanagement in the new Masia era. But worse was to come. The implementation of psychological support for the players has been widely considered a waste of money. 17 professionals were hired as part of the care program, however the players' hectic schedules meant they had little time to talk to the specialists. It's even been suggested by the tutors themselves that the players didn't want their help. So far, the program has cost Barcelona €900,000. Even more alarming was the club's decision to transform the students' entertainment and TV room at the Esportiva Joan Gamber into offices to accommodate their new staff. This stripped the players of a place to wind down after training, while the gym and swimming pool were also removed. Even the number of students staying at the complex was slashed, with more beds made available to loanees and reserves. And those living at the facility had to contend with substandard meals. When they moved from the farmhouse in Les Corts, the club outsourced their catering. However, their chosen supplier Sodexo, who also caters for a number of prisons in America, has been shown to not meet the nutritional standards required of an athletic institution. A shocking revelation. However, to many Catalonians, the biggest disaster of La Masia 360 has been the failure to coach the Barca DNA. Albert Soler made a number of changes to the training staff and hired a wave of inexperienced coaches. Fine in principle, though rather than educate their new trainers in the historic Barcelona philosophy, emphasis was placed on data analysis and courses in the prevention of risk situations. The introduction of former players Patrick Kluivert and Victor Valdez into the coaching team also failed dramatically, with the pair falling out and both leaving. La Masia 360 failed to stop the rot. In 2017, Johan Cruyff's nephew hit out at the direction Bartomeu had taken the academy, telling Marca, "This board has changed the criteria of the La Masia and the idea that the youth players are the basis for the first team, which is no longer the case." Sure enough, since 2016, arguably only 3 academy graduates have made an impression of note in the seniors: Oscar Mingueza, Ansu Fati and Ricky Puig. Of the 3, 18-year-old Ansu Fati is without doubt the star, the chosen successor to Messi's number 10 shirt, and the first Barca alumni to break into the Spanish senior squad since Sergio Roberto in 2013. Meanwhile, the future of Ricky Puig is still unclear, seemingly frozen out of the first team, having played over 500 minutes in the 2019-20 campaign. There is every chance the Spaniard could join a succession of academy talent in leaving the club for pastures new should his situation not improve. This would mark another failure for Barcelona's academy. Josep Bartomeu's ludicrous spending spree following the departure of Neymar to PSG in 2017 has been well documented. Check out our recent Football Daily Explained on Barcelona's summer activity to hear more about that. But what is often forgotten is how the shift in transfer policy meant to deliver immediate sporting and commercial success came at a cost to the academy. Under Bartomeu, over €1 billion was spent on new recruits, while talents such as Carlos Perez, Marc Cucurella and Alex Grimaldo were sold for moderate fees despite their first team potential. Even more embarrassing is the loss of their best prospects to other academies, such as Eric Garcia to Manchester City. Though not every La Masia graduate had a future at the club, the lack of success in promoting their talent into the first team was alarming. Now, as the club stares down the barrel of spiralling wages and debts totalling €1.2 billion, the academy could become its saving grace. The loss of Elias Moriba to RB Leipzig for €16 million was the latest sour episode in a summer of hard truths for the club. But they can take courage from the fact that in 17-year-old Xavi, they have another midfield sensation in the making. Left-back Alejandro Balde is only 17, while Nico Gonzalez and Alex Collado have both been elevated to the first team. Only time will tell if they have what it takes to satisfy the Barcelonistas. Joan Laporta has made immediate changes behind the scenes at La Masia too, with Rafa Marquez along with other familiar faces from his first spell as president returning to the coaching staff. Coaxing Xavi back to the Camp Nou could be the next step in his plan to turn La Masia around. It might be a while before Barcelona is winning major titles again, but perhaps one of the biggest victories they can achieve in the short term is restoring the capability and function of La Masia. To many of the coolers, that is the most important trophy of them all. So that was our take on how Josep Bartomeu almost destroyed La Masia. Was it his fault or were there problems before he arrived? Let us know in the comments down below. This was written by me, Henry, and edited by Danny, so give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe to EuroFootball Daily with that notification bell switched on, and we'll see you next time.